This is a red alarm fire alert. Welcome, I'm Cathy, and this is Subtext, a deep dive into the historical, economic, and geopolitical threads that connect our past to our future. Consider two of the most powerful positions in the U.S., the head of DOJ and the head of the Federal Reserve. Remember the chants, "Jews will not replace us"? Well, the Jews aren't, but Netanyahu's Zionists are, and this is very dangerous. Let's start here. The mega group and its associated figures often centers on a private, informal collective of roughly 20 wealthy and influential Jewish American philanthropists, founded in 1991. I can't talk about all in one video, but in my earlier videos I discussed many of the connections: Heritage Foundation, Peter Thiel, Palantir, Netanyahu, Stephen Harper, the IDU and AWZ, etc. Today I will start by calling out these three prominent figures. Leslie Wexner, founder of L Brands, Victoria's Secret, and a central figure in the group. He had a long-standing personal and professional relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, who managed Wexner's finances for many years. Charles Bronfman, the Canadian billionaire and former co-chairman of Seagram. He was a co-founder of the group and is heavily involved in North American and Israeli philanthropy. Stephen Harper. While there is no formal membership link between the former Canadian PM and the mega group, which is primarily a private donor circle, research often connects them through the IDU, International Democrat Union, and shared geopolitical interests. Harper has been a vocal supporter of the Zionist causes championed by many in the group. Zionists linked to the mega group are going to be taking over two of the most powerful positions in the U.S. The landscape of the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, has shifted rapidly in the last few days. As of today, April 5, 2026, a new leader was nominated for the DOJ, and Lee Zeldin is indeed a central figure in the conversation regarding the permanent role. As of April 2, 2026, Todd Blanche is the acting U.S. Attorney General. He was elevated from Deputy Attorney General after President Trump fired Pam Bondi. Blanche is a former federal prosecutor and was Trump's lead defense attorney in several high-profile cases. While Lee Zeldin is currently the administrator of the EPA, he has been widely reported as the top contender to be nominated to be permanent U.S. Attorney General to replace Bondi. Let's look at Lee Zeldin's background and views. Zeldin was raised in a Jewish household in Long Island. He grew up in a mix of conservative and Reform Judaism and is the grandson of two rabbis. His uncle, Isaiah Zeldin, was a prominent rabbi who founded the Stephen Wise Temple in Los Angeles. Zeldin is a Zionist, one of the most outspoken pro-Israel figures in American politics. During his time in Congress, he was a co-chair of the Republican Israel Caucus. He has consistently advocated for maximum military aid to Israel, supported the movement of the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, and has been a leading voice against the BDS, Boycott, Divestment, Sanctions movement. The mega group is a private, informal club of billionaires, like Leslie Wexner and Charles Bronfman, focused on Zionist philanthropy. While there is no public membership list that includes Zeldin, as he is a politician, not a billionaire donor, the connections are functional and strategic. Zeldin has received significant campaign backing from donors who share the mega group's mission of strengthening U.S.-Israel ties. This includes support from groups like RJMC, Republican Jewish Coalition, where many mega group associates have influence. The mega group's primary goal is the rejuvenation of Jewish identity and the security of Israel. Zeldin's legislative record, specifically his work on the Anti-BDS Act, directly mirrors the political priorities of the mega group's founders. Zeldin serves on the board of the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Council, an organization where many mega group affiliated philanthropists have historically held sway or provided funding. So that is part of the new Jewish control of the U.S. Zionist control over the DOJ will affect everything in the U.S. way of life. The first will be an attack on the American school system. Zionists will not only control the DOJ. Let's look at Trump and Netanyahu's Zionist nominee for the Federal Reserve. Kevin Warsh was nominated by President Trump on January 30th, 2026. He is a former Federal Reserve governor, 2006 to 2011, and was the youngest person ever appointed to the board at age 35. He is slated to replace Jerome Powell, whose term as chair expires in May 2026. Warsh has been a monetary hawk, meaning he tends to favor higher interest rates to keep inflation low, even if it slows economic growth. He has been a vocal critic of the Fed's bloated balance sheet and what he calls ultra-loose monetary policy, arguing that it helps Wall Street more than Main Street. Interestingly, despite his harsh reputation for wanting higher rates, he has recently aligned more with the White House's desire for lower interest rates to spur the economy, leading some analysts to wonder if he will shift his traditional stance once in office. There are notable connections in Warsh's background. He is married to Jane Lauder, a billionaire heiress of the Estee Lauder Company. Her father, Ronald Lauder, is the president of the World Jewish Congress and a very prominent figure in global Zionist philanthropy. Ronald Lauder is a longtime associate of Donald Trump and is deeply involved in the same circles as the mega group members, like Leslie Wexner and the Bronfmans. Ron Lauder claims he has enough control to change the U.S. system to be more empathetic to Jews. Before his time at the Fed, Warsh worked in mergers and acquisitions at Morgan Stanley and served in the George W. Bush administration. Netanyahu, the IDU, and the mega group are installing Zionists into the American government, and immediate changes to the American school system are completely mapped out. Canadians need to know that we are doing this to the U.S. and Canada. Canadians need to know that Stevens Harper's IDU has a hand in this transformation. Americans need to know that the installation of Lee Zeldin and Kevin Harsh will put America beyond the point of saving. The great democracy of the USA will be dead. Please subscribe to my channel. The subtext is often more important than the fire of the day. May peace be with you all.